You guys should have that. No, and yes, we're recording. What I want you guys to do is I want you to draw two triangles as closely as I do. Don't make them too small because you're going to have to label things, but don't make them too big because then you don't have room for anything else. So here I'm going to draw this triangle right here. And you know what my goal on these two triangles, when I draw them out, is to make them look the exact same. All right, I want congruent, exact same thing. All right, Peter? Yeah, I'll back up. Or maybe if someone next to you can help you out. I don't know about that. Rachel, what do you think? They're the same?
Sure.
Yay! All right. This is actually better than I did the first period, so I'll take these. And then we're going to label them some things. P, Q, R. And we're going to label this one X, Y, Z. Yeah. Okay, I need you guys to tell me a little bit about triangles. So this is a review from Friday. What do you guys know about triangles? Do you guys remember? Okay, it has to have three angles. Three angles for a triangle. Anything else about a triangle? Not only three angles, but three sides. They have three line segments. Anything else? Do you know where those sides meet? What do you call that point? Yeah, they have to have three vertices. So three sides, three angles, three vertices. Anything else about the angles in a triangle and what they add up to be?
180.
Yeah, they have to add up to be 180 degrees. Now, on the video on Friday, did I ask the question, can you have a triangle that has two right angles?
No.
You guys remember that? Or two obtuse angles. It's either one of those. Do you guys remember that question at all? Okay, so let me ask you right now. Can a triangle have two right angles? No. Okay, someone give me a reason why not. Like, I really want a triangle with two right angles. Josh?
Well, if you have two right angles, that'll make a square because you get one right angle, one right angle. And then you can't form them both together to get a triangle.
But what if you bend them in?
Then it's not a right angle.
Yeah, you're going to have trouble just drawing it, but there's another reason, kid. Think of the number 180 degrees. Yeah, if you had two right angles, wouldn't you have a 90-degree angle and a 90-degree angle? Is there room for any other angle in a triangle? No, you can't have an angle that's 0 degrees, so yeah, you can't do anything else. You can't have more than one right angle or more than one obtuse angle. Okay, here's a triangle, and yes, sir?
Do you have any more pictures?
We don't need any today. You just need to draw that out as best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. But thank you for asking. Okay, I'm going to give you this statement right here, and I'm going to read it to you, and then you're going to read it back to me. So I'm going to read it. It's a triangle PQR is congruent to triangle XYZ. So triangle PQR is congruent to triangle XYZ. And in just a few moments, you're going to read that to me as a class. So get that down here. Okay, on the count of three. 1, 2, 3.
Triangle PQR is congruent to triangle XYZ.
Okay, good. So when you see these symbols and all that written out, that's what you're saying, congruent. And this right here is called a congruent statement, okay? Congruent statement. Now, why am I emphasizing that? Because in your homework, they're going to say, write a congruent statement. What's a congruent statement? It's right here, okay? So just don't lose track of that. Okay, these two triangles, and you might have to imagine, are the exact same size and shape, okay? So I know this. You know angle P? Have you ever seen this little marking here? This little like arch or arc right here? Angle P is the exact same thing as angle X. They have the same angle measure. Now on your papers, I know mine aren't that great, but does anyone have two triangles that look pretty close to each other? Like they're pretty much the same. Okay, if you're good. Not everyone, so you're in the same boat with me. All right, these two angles are the same. They're congruent to one another. So if I measure angle X, guess which other angle I found? Angle P. So they're the same angle. Okay. Angle R, or let's go with angle Q. Angle Q has the same exact measure as angle Y. They're the same degree measure. So we can say angle Q is congruent to angle Y. Okay? Now, do you notice I put 2 of those little arches? Why would I do that? Why 2? Why don't I just put 1?
Have one on P and Z, so you have to do 2 to make sure it's not the exact same angle.
Oh, so Chelsea, on that, what should I put with R and Z?
3.
3. So I'm going to put 3 right here. And 3 right here. And someone else explain to me, why do I have to put 1 on these, 2 on those, and 3 on those? I mean, why can't I just put 1 on all of them? It makes it so much easier. Yep.
Because if you put 1 on every single
Okay, 1 on all of them.
It would mean that they're all the same.
Good. That would mean that P is equal to Q, which is equal to R, and all those. That is not correct, but this is telling me the right thing. All right, any questions on the angles? You see where they're the same? Okay, I said that they have the same size and same shape. They're congruent. So I also know something about their sides. Okay? Side or segment, I should say, PQ is congruent to segment XY. Tell me what to do next.
I decided to put 2.
Where would you put them? You tell me.
On the bottom.
Okay, so 2 here, and then 2 on. Oh, huh. So segment PR is congruent to segment XZ. Okay, I'm good with that. Yep.
Is there you know how congruent has that little
Little tilde.
Is there 1 for segment? If you were to write segment PR is congruent to XZ.
Yes, there's a way to write that with symbols. Yeah, I'll show you guys that in just a moment. Are there any other sides that are congruent in these 2 triangles? Yes, sir? QR and YZ. I'm good with that. Okay, that's it. Do you guys see all the parts that match up together? Do you guys see those matching parts? Okay, they're going to give you triangles where they show you all the matching parts, but they're not going to use the word matching. Okay, they don't use the word matching. In geometry, you use the word corresponding. Okay, have we seen the word corresponding before? Yes, that just means matching. They're the same angle or measurement, whatever. Okay, good, guys, good on this? The next part you're going to have to do, or the next thing you're going to have to do, is not only show it on a diagram sometimes, which is what we just did. You're actually going to show it by listing out angles and sides. So this is what you need to write down. You can keep that up, by the way. I don't want to lose my diagrams. Congruent angles and congruent. You're going to have 2 little columns. Congruent sides. Congruent angles and congruent sides. Okay? Let me give an example of congruent angles. And you guys already told it. You already gave it to me, and Chelsea, this will answer your question. Angle P is congruent. It's starting to act up on me here. Congruent to angle X. Uh-oh. Technical difficulty. That's an angle sign. If it keeps doing it, I might have to reset it. Okay, so angle P is congruent to angle X. You guys see that they're the same? Can anyone give me another pair of angles that are congruent? Can you give me that congruency statement? Davis. Good, and I like that you said it the right way. So angle Q is congruent to angle Y. Okay, and a last pair that can be congruent. Sarah back there?
Angle R is congruent to angle Z.
Angle R is congruent to angle Z. Okay, good. That's it. These are the pairs of congruent angles. Do you guys get that? And are these matching? These are matching, and those are matching? Good. That's simple enough. We're a little pickier on the sides. Okay? We have to be picky on the sides. Yes? Perfect.
For the sides, wouldn't it be the same, or except with the angle part, because XY is on the side?
Yeah, you're going to see there's a lot of similarity, but there is a little difference, and there's flexibility within that. So let's see here. Congruent sides. Okay, segment PQ. Segment PQ. Do you remember that little bar up top? What does that mean? That PQ is a line segment. So it's a segment. Segment PQ is congruent to segment XY. All right, guys, I'm going to pause here for just a moment. Are you guys okay with saying segment PQ is congruent to segment XY? Okay, but you cannot write it this way. Segment PQ is congruent to segment YX. You cannot write it that way. Does anyone know why you can't write it that way? And this is cool. I'm glad you said that answer. It's actually the same line, like it's the same line segment, but there's something different about those two line segments. If I did PQ and YX, but good. Thank you for giving me that, Rachel.
Because X comes before Y on the segment.
Okay, that's actually it. You guys see here, PQ is this segment right here. You have this small angle, and then you have the bigger angle right there, right? PQ. Then you have on the other triangle, you have XY. Is it okay to say YX? No, because you go from big to small, small to big. Are those matching exactly the way it is on the triangle? And the answer to that is no. But there is another way I could have written this. Does anyone know how I could have written this? I said not PQ and YX. Can't do that. You could have written it this other way. Jake.
Segment XY is congruent to segment PQ.
Okay, hey, I wasn't even thinking of that. That's actually good. Segment XY is congruent to PQ, so you could have flipped it around. That's good. There's another way you could write it, which you gave me two ways to write it other than that. Annie?
Segment PQ is congruent to YX.
So PQ and YX, that one's the one you can't do, because you have PQ, like PQ, and then YX, so you kind of flipped it around.
I meant to say QP to YX.
Okay, can you do QP is congruent to YX?
Yes.
Yes, you can. And in your books and your answers, sometimes in the back of the book it'll say this. Mr. A, I put QP and YX. Is that okay? Yeah, but remember, if you flip them around the wrong way, it doesn't work. All right, give me another segment that's congruent to another segment. Nick, go ahead.
Go with X. Oh, we gotta go PR.
Okay, segment PR is congruent to X. Z is correct. Yep. PR is congruent to XZ. That's a good way to write it. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to call in two people. The first person will give me the first half of the congruency statement, and the second person will give me the second half. So Laura and Mandy. You're going to give me the last statement. Laura, you're going to give me the first part of the last statement. So what other segments are congruent? So we got PQ and PR. So what's left?
Segment QR.
Okay, that's all you're giving me. Segment QR is congruent to, Mandy?
Segment YZ.
QR is congruent to Y. Sorry about that. YZ. That's it. You see how they match it up? They're corresponding. You can't switch these and not switch those at the same time.
So did you do YZ is congruent to QR?
Yes. YZ is congruent to QR. Mm-hmm. Are we picking geometry? Yes, we are. We really are. And there's a reason for it. It's not just like, you know what, let's make another rule so that it's harder for the teacher to grade your work. It's because you're going to see that sometimes if you don't have it in the right order, you're talking about something completely different. And I don't want to be confused. Okay, you guys good on that? Okay, let me give you this next note here. And it's going to tie in that corresponding part, which is actually my next note. Corresponding parts. So triangles have parts, angles, segments, vertices. So corresponding parts, I'll give you a couple examples. On that last set of triangles, you could say that angle P corresponds with angle X. Angle P corresponds with angle X. You can say angle P matches with angle X. Is that true? Angle P and angle X match?
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by corresponds. And I say match because it's not technically matching, but you could think of it that way. And then another example of a line segment would be segment PQ corresponds with or matches with segment XY. So that's what I mean by corresponding. And that might not mean a lot because some of you are thinking, Mr. A, can't you just say that angle P is congruent to angle X? Yes, you could say that. So why do you have to say corresponds? Because today, what are we talking about? What's the lesson called? Congruent. Tomorrow, does anyone know what it's called? Similar. They're not the same. So we have to make sure we distinguish, but we'll still talk about corresponding parts. Sorry? And
Wants to do corresponding or wants to do congruent?
they're going to ask you one or the other. Today, they're the same. Tomorrow, they're going to be different in certain ways, and I'll show you that tomorrow. By the way, we're going to review lessons 13-1, 3, and 4 on Wednesday, because on Thursday, there's a quiz. Yeah, sorry, I heard test is like, whoa, there's a quiz. 11-1. Sorry, I keep saying algebra 1. 11-1, 3, and 4. Yeah, not 2, not 11-2, because we didn't do that. Okay? So we're going to review on Wednesday for our quiz on Thursday. You guys got that? We'll review, but I hope you're ready for it on your own. Okay, corresponding parts. Let's go to example number 1. Man, I wish they gave me easy problems like that. They kind of do, and they kind of don't. Okay, example number 1, and that's on page 574. Now, I want you guys to try to draw those triangles as accurately as they drew them as you can. And I will do the same thing. Please don't laugh. They don't have to be perfect, but try your best on that. I know. Honestly, I don't feel bad about mine anymore. Looking at some of yours. No, okay. You guys still did better. And they gave me this in the problem. Well, actually, can someone read the bold type in the problem? Example 1, if blah, blah, blah. Peter? And, sorry, Peter. Read it one more time.
If triangle COD is congruent to angle ATM, name the congruent angle and sides.
Okay. So they gave me that top congruency statement, and that's probably where the video totally blocks that off, so sorry. Triangle COD is congruent to triangle ATM, right? And then they have the triangles there. So did they mark up anything for you? Did they give you like the little tick marks or little arches? Did they give you any of that? Nope, they don't give you any of that. Because you don't need that. Keep your triangles. I'm erasing mine because we don't need them. Wait, do they have them in your book? Oops. No. Let me show you something here. What they want us to do in this problem is they ask us, name the congruent angles and sides. Okay, so you're going to do this. Congruent. And here's the symbol abbreviation in geometry for angles, that little angle sign with an S. Congruent angles. So we're going to have to get that. And we need congruent sides. And there's no abbreviation for sides. Okay, we didn't need the drawings. We just needed the name. Do you guys see the name? Triangle COD, triangle ATM, and they're congruent. They gave me all the info I needed to get the congruent angles and the congruent sides. Here's how you work it out. The congruent angles. Angle C is congruent with angle A. Anyone know how I got that? without looking at the diagram?
Is it in the first?
It's the first letter in each triangle, right? Look at C and A. They're corresponding. They're congruent. Angle O is congruent with, anybody? Angle T. Yep, that's it. And Parker, give me the last one.
Angle D is like angle.
It is congruent with angle M. That's it. Those are your your congruent angles. That's it. Okay. Thankful. Oh wait, we had to find sides too, right?
Oh man.
Oops. Got it. Segment CO is congruent with segment AT. How'd I get that?
Does that mean
Huh?
it's the first two?
Oh, it is. Yeah, CO and AT. Oh, cool. Does anyone know segment OD's congruent side?
TM.
TM. Hold the dab. Because Nick will give me the last one.
Oh man.
And then you can dab.
Is it DC?
Segment DC is congruent with.
MA.
You're allowed to dab. Okay, guess not. Yeah, you got it. Did you guys need the diagrams? No, all you needed was the congruent statement. Swivl, that thing up there is congruent statement. Because you're going to see that in your homework. They're going to write the congruent statement. What's a congruent statement? It's right up there. That's super important. And does order matter?
Yes.
Yeah, it actually gives me the answers to the problem right in the name. Go ahead.
Wouldn't it be DC is congruent to AM?
So you're saying DC is congruent to AM, but the order matters, so DC and MA. You could have said segment CD is congruent to AM, but not flip one and not the other. Yes, sir?
Couldn't you do like a lot of other ones though?
You could do a lot of other ones, but they're all going to be matched up. So what's one that we didn't do, maybe that you see?
OC.
Okay, OC, right here. OC is congruent to what then?
TA.
TA. OC is congruent to TA. So it's right there still. Mm-hmm. So in your answer book, that might give you these three answers, and you're like, Mr. A, I didn't get any of them. Are you sure about that? Oh, they switched them. Fine. That's good. It works. Okay. How many of you are doing okay with congruent statements and congruent angles and congruent sides? Are you okay with that? Order matters, but there is flexibility in that. Okay, let's do one more example and then make sure we get this down. Example number 3. And someone read me that problem. It's an application of triangles and being congruent triangles. Question first. Go ahead.
Right here on the last one, how would you find what the congruent
Statement?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Couldn't it be like OCD and then like ANT or like?
Yeah, you could say OCD and TAM.
Okay.
So you could do that many ways, and it still gives you all those same answers, but maybe a little flexible on the way they write it. Yes, ma'am. You want to read it?
Yeah.
Okay, example number 3. Go ahead. And that's the second word is trusses.
Okay. Roof trusses allow a roof to withstand the stress of heavy loads. A roof truss for a particular building is made so long that the angle on the left measures 35 degrees. The triangular sides of the truss are to be congruent as marked below.
Okay, so they gave us this diagram. Okay, you guys see the roof?
Mm-hmm.
This is the truss right here. This is the truss. Okay, they gave me 2 pieces of info. They give me that these sides have to be equal. The segment TS and segment TR have to be equal, so I'll mark them up that way. They have to be the same. And then they gave me the left angle here was what? 35 degrees. Okay, do you guys understand that this roof should be balanced? It should be equally balanced on both sides. It can't have one side bearing most of the weight and the other not. I see 2 triangles in here. How many do you see?
2, 3.
Okay, name the 3. Oh, name the 3 triangles. Name one of them, Sarah Harris. TRU. This triangle right here, that's correct. Give me another one, Josh. TSU is the second one, and there's a third one. Wait, there's a third one? Peter?
RUST.
Okay, a triangle is named with 3 letters, so pick your 3 letters. R, RST. Yep, RST. Okay, you guys see the 3? Which 2 triangles have to be the same? Does triangle RST have to be the same as RTU? No, so you understand. You're talking about these 2 little ones. This angle has to be the same as which other angle? So angle TRU has to be congruent to which other angle? Give me the name of the angle. Don't forget the letters matter. Annie? Angle TSU is correct. Those have to be congruent, right?
Could you do TUS? Would it still work?
That's a good question. So, did you say TRU, TUS? The T's would match, but then these 2 letters would not be corresponding. You see how R and S correspond, and U correspond. So you have to put it, if you're going to use these 3, you have to do it in this order.
So you could go TUR.
You could have said TUR, but TUR would have been this angle right here. Yeah, so remember when you're naming an angle with 3 letters, what's the vertex of that angle? It's the middle letter. So that's why we get this one right here.
Wouldn't you use a triangle sign instead of an angle?
No, because I'm saying this angle right here is equal to which angle? It's this one right here. Does anyone know what angle TSU measures? 35 degrees. That's it. That's one of your answers. And I think they gave me this, 20 feet for TS. All right, what segment is congruent to segment TS? Anyone know what segment is congruent to TS? Segment TS? Betsy?
What?
What segment is congruent to segment TS? So how would I finish this off? Segment TR. Okay. What is the length of segment TR? Go.
20 feet.
Done. Right? Because don't they have to be the same? This has to be the same as that. This has to be the same as that. So we figured it out. That's it. Okay? How many of you feel pretty comfortable with what we're doing here? Okay, before I give you the homework, let me explain the directions because some of you are going to struggle. Look on page 576, and then I'll give you the actual homework. Numbers 9 through 12. I'm not going to repeat myself, guys, so Swivl has it. I'll tell you right now. So 9 through 12. Complete the congruent statement for each pair of congruent triangles. Congruent statement. You got to make one of these with the 2 triangles. Then, just one of these. But then it says, name the corresponding parts. That's right here. You got to give me all 6 of those. So there's on numbers 9 through 12, there are 7 answers. 7. You're like, oh my goodness, who could do it? It's this. That's what you're doing on those. Okay, 13 and 14. They want a congruent statement for each pair of congruent triangles. So what do they want? They want this. That's all you do for 13 and 14, just that. And then 15 through 20. They gave you, if triangle RST is congruent to triangle MAP, name the part congruent to each angle or segment given. So look at number 15, for example. You see segment RS? What segment would be congruent to segment RS? They don't even give you the diagrams. And then you say, hint, draw it. You don't need to draw it. Could you find it in the name? Okay, good. You do that. 21 to 23, they want you to tell me what x is equal to. I'm not going to tell you what to do there, but you tell me what x is equal to. Hopefully you can figure it out. And then I threw number 25 at you because I want to see how you guys handle it. Look at number 25. You see that diagram on the right? How many triangles are in there? You find out. Okay. Yeah. It doesn't want you, 25. It doesn't want you to tell me how many triangles there are, but they do want to give you, they want you to give me 2 of these. So I need 1 and then another one of 2 congruent triangles, or 2 pairs of congruent triangles in that set. So that's a little tough. Hopefully you can do that carefully. All right, your homework. Is numbers 9 through 25 odd? And that's pages 5, 6, 576, 577. All right, that's your homework. How much time do you have?